Y'all not, I'm a straight dog. You a sheep at the slaughter. We ain't from the same world. Walk a mile in my kicks. You a fish out of water. So let me try to teach you how to breathe.
What's good, everybody? DJ TMAC here for another great hip-hop conversation. Back here with another local Colorado artist. He's got a name pretty similar to mine. He's got a bunch of dope music, some dope visuals, and we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more today. We have TMC in the building.
T-Mac, what is good, my man?
Hey, not much, man. We were just talking about it. I just watched the Super Bowl. Pretty good game that we just watched.
I'm not even a sports fan in any way, shape, or form, but that was a fucking great game, dude. The Chiefs had that dog in them tonight. You know what I'm saying?
They did, man. It was fun to watch. Like yourself, really don't follow football too much. Used to be a bigger fan, but just fell off. We got music's a lot more important. There's some other stuff to focus on. But hey, let's talk about music. You were born and raised here in Colorado.
Yeah, I'm from Lamar, Colorado.
Okay. And
so Lamar is in the absolute fucking middle of nowhere. You would have to go 100 miles east of Pueblo out into the plains, and then you get to Lamar. It's basically
super deep.
Basically Kansas. Yeah, man.
So
booger on your microphone.
Whoopsie. How long ago did you move here to Denver?
So I've been here in Denver about 7 years.
7 years. Were you making music before you came out here to Denver? How long ago did you start making music?
Yeah, so I come from like a real musical family. Like my pops is a real good guitar player, singer, all that, and even before that, like my great uncle Vic had this big band out that way. So we're from the Arkansas Valley. Lamar is along the Arkansas River, and he had this locally famous band out there called the Ark Valley Wranglers. You could still even look that up and find their shit. But music runs super deep in my family. So, like, I started out playing guitar when I was a little kid. And eventually, my mom had gotten, back when people first, like, I don't know, before you really even saw, like, little shitty, cheap interfaces and condenser mics, like, yeah, my mom had gotten like a cheap condenser mic and an interface, and she would record like church hymnals on it. She had a book of hymns, a book of church hymns, and she would record like harmonies and shit. And that microphone was just laying around for long enough that because I would try to make little bands and shit in Lamar, Yeah, eventually I just started making songs on that microphone, realizing I could jack beats and stuff, and that's kind of where my rap career started, more or less. Mm-hmm. Man, I really fucking meandered a lot on that, dude.
Hey, it's good. It's conversations with T-Mac. People that come here, they know what they're going to get. They're not in a rush.
Dude, I'm going to be better next time, I swear to God.
It's all good. Hey, we got a lot more questions, so let's get to it. But, all right, so we got a little bit about your start in music. Some pretty notable people that you've opened up for in your career so far as Terminology. I was actually at that show recently at the River. Bun B, Ari the Rugged Man, and I'm sure some more even.
Yeah.
What is it like performing here in Denver and opening for some of these artists?
Well, it's crazy. A lot of people say don't meet your heroes, which in most cases is pretty fucking true. But yeah, I've got to open up for a lot of people. I remember I was probably 21 years old, and me and my boys in Ice Cream. They used to be part of a group called High Five here in Denver. They were pretty big. We were main support for Warren G. And I remember, like, I featured on a song with them, and rock that shit. Whole crowd goes crazy, whatever. And then, like, 5 minutes later, Warren G's on the stage, and I'm, like, sitting there eating a slice of pizza and looking at Warren G and thinking, like, holy shit, dude, like, I was just up there rocking this shit. Like, I'm from the middle of nowhere in a dead-end town that people aren't, like, supposed to make it out of. It was just like, what the fuck? I shouldn't even be here. This is crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Warren G. Yeah, no, it was cool.
That's really cool, man. That's a cool experience. I had a similar experience in Colorado Springs last year. I was DJing for some artists down there, Finesse and some of the 7 News and Entertainment guys, and later Ninth Wonder was on those same turntables, rocking. Man. So that was
And shout out my boys. Shout out Johnny Blanco. Shout out Windsor James. Fucking.
The whole camp, all
Basement,
the cats Finesse,
in 9 News.
Everybody.
Shout out Bates. Shout out Finesse. All my boys, dude.
Hell yeah, Denver and Colorado, you know, they got some talent out here. Recently
see, those cats are Colorado Springs, which is where I'm from. I'm from the 719, you know, always on my mind.
Mm-hmm. Something I like to ask some artists around here, is there sort of a Colorado sound? Can you, like, describe that? Is that a thing?
So Colorado, I think, is actually cool as far as our music scene and even our taste in hip hop and shit like that. Where we're so far in the middle of the country that we get influence from absolutely everywhere. Mm-hmm. You know, like, where I grew up, it was more a mix of, like, of West Coast shit and down South shit. You know what I mean? And I grew up with a lot of Hispanic kids, so it was a lot of fucking SPM and things like that. You know, they love Tech 9 out here and shit. But I think that Colorado and Denver, even more specifically, is really cool because all the culture that's created from, like, you know, like East Coast rap, West Coast rap, down South shit, and even, like, up north, like Atmosphere and all those cats, like, all of that kind of gets mixed together here, you know what I mean? So, like, that's why it's kind of hard to pinpoint a Denver sound, is because we're so in the middle of everything that it all kind of just becomes a mix, you know?
Yeah, it sort of meshes together and can turn into its own thing, which sort of seems to, you know, what's happening around here. So we talked about performing a little bit. Do you have a favorite venue that you like to perform at around here?
No, I mean, I have lots of venues that I love, but it's just... No, it just depends on the night and the show. And it's like there's a lot of different things that go into that question. Like, some venues have good sound, some venues are a vibe, you know what I mean? But no, man, it just depends on the show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You talked about not meeting your heroes and, you know, some of the people that you opened up for. Is there any advice or gems that they gave you that you could share with the world?
Hell no. No, man, like, I remember opening for Jonwayne from Stone's Throw Records, if you're familiar. Jonwayne?
Not Jonwayne, but Stone's Throw, yes.
So Jonwayne is big, he's big, like, fat white guy rapper from Stone's Throw, Lazy Eye. it just an incredible rapper, fucking illest beats you've ever heard. I've been listening to him since I was like, 16. Very formative years and shit. And I remember at that show, all my Colorado Springs like rap homies showed out to see me, like IB Hustles, the cats from Bullheaded, which those are both, shout out Bullheaded, shout out IB Hustles. Those are like my OGs, you know what I mean? And Jonwayne was rapping up there. We were all watching. And in my memory, I thought it was Hondo that said this, but no, he told me it was our boy Jacob. He came up and he's like, this dude looks like he'd rather be like playing D&D or something right now. Because Jonwayne was up there in like basketball shorts and fucking and flip flops with a steaming thermos of like coffee or tea or something like that. And yeah, we all just started dying laughing. And Jonwayne stopped the show dead in its tracks and pointed at us. He's like, hey, what are you guys laughing at? Fucking spotlight shines on us and everything. And yeah, it was just so embarrassing. And I tried to talk to Jonwayne after the show that night, and he was not very fond of me, But I wouldn't say that's not really so much a story of don't meet your heroes of like, because we were definitely the assholes in that scenario. But yeah, he definitely he didn't seem like a cat I would want to hang out with or something, which it's like, it's weird to meet your fucking heroes, like somebody who you've been avid fan of since you were like in your most formative years, like your teenage years, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And dude, I can't even not hold this mic like a rapper right now. I'm over here fucking, dude, what the fuck am I doing, man? Jesus Christ.
It's instincts, man.
But no, it is weird to meet people that you've looked up to for a long time and realizing like, oh, me and this person don't really vibe on that level at all. You know what I mean? You always think of them in this kind of, you've painted your own picture of who you think this person is. And then you meet this person and it's usually like, oh, this is just like a regular ass person with these flaws, whatever, you know what I mean? But it is funny as fuck meeting people that you've looked up to. Sometimes it's fucking rad, like meeting Exile in Choosy. Like, are you familiar with Blue and Exile? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So Blue is probably my favorite rapper. Definitely, Blue is my favorite rapper of all time. And Exile is my favorite producer of all time. Like, their record Below the Heavens absolutely altered the course of me just musically and what I knew that you could do with hip hop and the kind of stories that you could tell in a song. Like, that record changed my shit. And I was supposed to open up for them in Colorado Springs on the 10-year anniversary of Below the Heavens. They were doing like a nationwide tour, and the whole thing got canceled for some reason. And I felt like, oh fuck, like of course this would happen, like I'm cursed or something like that. You know what I mean? And a few years down the road, my homegirl brought me into the Embassy Tavern just on a random, very low key night. There was a few people in there, and I walk into the bar, and Choozy's sitting at the bar. Who he's from their record label, Dirty Science. And I start spazzing out because I'm a fan of him too. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing here at this fucking random dive bar in Denver? Fucking nobody's even like, why are you just kicking it here? I started telling him, I was like, yo, dude, fucking Blue in Exile changed my life. Like, those motherfuckers are my heroes. I'm such a fan of your shit. And he has this big cheesy smile on his face. He's like, hey, look behind you, G. And I look behind me and it's Exile, and I start spazzing out even harder. But no, I kicked it with those dudes the entire night, and Exile was just like one of the boys, you know what I mean? It was just like that was one of the rare examples of meeting somebody that you've always looked up to. That's like, yes, dude, you're just like one of us, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Yeah, that was cool.
That's really dope, man. Who are some other influences of yours as far as music, or maybe even outside of music? But who are some other influences?
Some influences of mine. So, like Blue in Exile, I said for sure. Like a lot of the East Coast shit, I think, is what really got my goat, got my gipper, you know what I mean? Like when my brother first put me on to like Nas and Jay-Z and shit like that when I was a little kid, that was the biggest. Like, you even listen to my music now, and I've, grown up 1,000 miles away from New York my entire life, and you can 100% tell that my influence comes from all those East Coast cats. You know what I mean? And now even the new school of people like Wiki, I get a lot of I'm never trying to imitate somebody, but I get a lot of I just get a lot of game from artists like that,
Maybe like a little spark of inspiration. People like to take the idea of like stealing ideas and things like a little too far now. Artists so like open-ended. But I like actually finding different influence in things, because how I came around to hip hop, it was more in like the 2010s, like listening to that music, and then finally going back and realizing, oh, there's samples, and this really came from R&B and funk music and jazz, and
no
really being
idea.
Opened up to that, like, so
no idea is original.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's always just can you build on this idea? Can you make this the 2.0 of its predecessor, is what you should be looking at music as, you know what I mean? Because nobody wants to hear like in all honesty, nobody wants to hear like a record that sounds like it came out in fucking 2001 or something, unless it's just that good. It's like you always have to be building on a thing, you know what I mean?
So let's get back a little bit more into your journey, your sort of musical journey. How long would you say you were like writing music before you started like recording, releasing it, and then like performing? Because you said actually music's sort of been a part of your whole life, so playing guitar,
Yeah.
so I'm sure maybe the styles of music have evolved over time. Let's break down your musical journey a little bit.
How long I've been writing music. It actually, I just thought of a very embarrassing story. I still haven't decided if I'm going to tell on here yet. But, yeah, since I was a little kid, like, I started playing guitar at, like, 10 or something like that. And I remember being around the age of, like, 12 or something. And I started to actually try to, like, write my own songs. And I remember my dad telling me my mom found one of my notebooks, and she came to my dad. She's like, Mike, I think Taylor might be suicidal or something. Like, I think that there's a, and my dad's like, no, Lisa, that's just the type of things that like kids are into now. And I was writing my little, it's funny to think that ever since I was a little kid, the songs I was writing were like, kind of sad, just like the ones I write now. That's funny. Yeah, no, the embarrassing story, fuck it, I'm gonna tell it. Dude, I remember I wrote this fucking song on guitar, and it was something like I won't be a slave to tomorrow or something like that, which is so corny and goofy in retrospect. But I remember writing this song, and my buddies like rode their bikes to my house or whatever, and they came in, and I was like, fuck yeah, you guys, I just fucking wrote this song, check this shit out. And I played it for him and I played it for him on my guitar and sang it. And they immediately just started busting ass laughing at me, bro. And fucking made fun. We were leaving my house, made fun of my ass so hard. Oh, no. I broke down in tears and ran home, dude.
No.
And they actually came back feeling like hella bad about it, which they didn't ever do that. Like they would, like, yeah, no, that's funny though. That's almost something I forgot about.
Well, I'm glad we were able to get it out and document it here on this podcast. People come a long way. Better not be
putting this on the internet, man.
People come a long way. Hey, nobody watches it. It's okay. Let's talk about some of your goals as an independent artist. The music industry is quite a different place than it was, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I always like to ask artists when they're in here, what are your goals?
So I've always said, if I could just make a humble living, like almost like my parents did or something. Like if I could do that with music, I would be totally satisfied, And it's like, I've only realized in the last couple years, I don't think I would ever want to be famous, like famous, you know what I mean? Like just to be a spectacle for the entire world to fucking, oh, we love you right now, so here's all the love in the world, and ooh, you did a thing we don't like, so here's way more hate. Cost. Here's way more hate than one person could ever deal with or fathom. And it's like, I think I want to be somewhere in between of which I think I'm kind of close to that point of like the people who you would want to know you. And yeah, like kind of all the others that it doesn't really, like your opinion of me doesn't really matter all that much,
Mm-hmm. Don't eat too much more than the core.
Don't eat too much more than the core.
Just drop the bar right there.
That's a bar and a half, dude. I don't know if I ever heard that one.
Me neither, man. I mean, we're gonna, I'll let you use that one, next time you're writing, if it comes to mind.
I'm making $1 million off you, TMAC.
Come on, let's go. But something I saw on your Instagram recently that you posted about was Freddie Gibbs making it to late night television. So that's sort of, an interesting thing to see, right? This artist would be seen as sort of underground lyrical content, might not necessarily be one for television, but he made it to late night TV, doing him,
Well, and Freddie Gibbs didn't really start out as like an underground cat. He's like a, he does like gangster rap. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But the thing that was so powerful, seeing like a cat like Freddie Gibbs make it to make it to like fucking the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon or whatever, and do a cut off the record that's like not in any way like poppy or like, you know, he did like the deepest, craziest, heaviest cut off that record. And just the fact, like, I don't know if you know, do you know anything about like Gary, Indiana?
Not too much.
Gary, so he's from Gary, Indiana, which is just the fucking armpit of America, dog. Like, you look up pictures of Gary, Indiana, it looks like a fucking third world country, you know what I'm saying? And Freddie Gibbs really did come from, he just came from an environment of which, like, they set it up in a way that you're not supposed to make it out of it. And he took it to just such great lengths that it's like, you know, you can't help but be proud of the dude, you know?
Mm-hmm. Of course. Yeah, that's a really cool thing to see. Do you have any dream collaborations, producers you want to work with? Anything like that?
Nah, man, any of those motherfuckers would be lucky to work with me.
Hey. Tell them.
Honestly, no, dude. Honestly, no. I don't have any dream, like, collaborate. I really, if anything, I just want my music. I just want to continue to make better shit. And I want those motherfuckers eventually to be like, damn, how dope would it be if I could get a collaboration with TMC or Nasty Ass T or Stanky Ass T or whatever they're calling me at that point, you know?
Okay. Be ready for the name switch. We don't know when it's going to happen.
You never know when it's going to happen, bro. You're talking to Nasty Ass T right now. See, at the beginning of the interview, you were talking to TMC. Now this is Nasty Ass T.
Hey, while we're on the subject of the name, yo, our names are pretty similar. You know, the hip hop name, the actual name. But for a minute, you know, before I was DJing, before I was making some beats, I was writing some bars, and I think for about 1 minute, my rap name was TMC. So we have a little connection there. Run TMC, like it's just
the
part
most. It's the most generic thing I could have picked. I picked this rap name when I was about 14, 15 years old. And just, whatever.
Still rocking with it. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
I am still rocking with it.
Staying consistent.
I may change it one day. Fuck, maybe that's when my career is going to blow up. Who knows? But,
we'll let the people know.
But yeah, you know, we're just a couple of dirty Irish mix with a similar name.
Doing our hip-hop thing.
Yeah, Taylor McCullough and Tyler, what is
Tyler
it?
McGraw,
dude. Like,
straight Mick.
McGruff. Wait, I was thinking of McGruff the Crime Dog. You kind of remind me of McGruff the Crime Dog a little bit, man.
Okay.
You got Crime Dog vibes.
you know a Lil Wayne bar that I like a lot? Quick Draw McGraw. I went to art school. Come on, son. It just ends right there.
Hey, Quick Draw McGraw. I went to art school.
Yeah, the lights is bright. No. You know, we could keep going, but we won't. Fireman. You know.
Yo, this might be too hot for TV right now. I kind of feel like Birdman might have molested Lil Wayne or something.
You were talking about this last week at the show.
Oh, I did, huh?
Yeah, you brought
Damn,
this up.
I'm obsessed with
this is a topic of conversation. He wants to get to the bottom of it.
Because I don't know, dude. I don't know. Just Birdman just seems. Come here, Playboy. Come here. Hey, Daddy, I want to kiss you right now, Daddy. Hey, Playboy, come here right now. Come kiss your daddy. You know? And I just. That's all I have to say about that.
Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about some of your music, man. I like to do album breakdowns and sort of get into people's style.
Check it out.
So right before we talk about God's Eye, which you released in December, just a few months ago, for somebody who has never heard your music before, they're just tuning into the conversation right now. How would you describe your style? We talked about some of your influences, but your musical style.
I don't know. It's one of those. A lot of people would like to put me in this box of like old school shit or conscious rap or boom bap, and I don't like any of those. I don't like any of those connotations. You know what I mean? Which I love conscious shit. I love boom bap shit, and I do.
There may be some elements of those things.
There's elements of that, but yeah, it's definitely like, I don't know. I feel like when it comes to throwing like, ooh, how could you wrap up your style in a neat little box? It's like I can't. You know, it's like you kind of just have to listen to the record and hear what somebody's trying to say to you.
So let's talk about God's Eye. Like I mentioned, released December 2022, fully produced by Deals Makes Beats.
December 13th, on my birthday, yes sir.
Oh, okay. All right. I like the connection there. Why did you choose to work with one producer for this project? How did that sort of idea come together?
Man, just the first time I ever met Deals, I was like, yo, you're so ugly. And just I hate you, that I knew I had to make a record with him. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know what you mean. That's the first time I heard something like that.
Man, I seen him. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Who even allowed you to be this person? And also, I have to make a record with you, is what I said.
Okay.
Nah, Deals Makes Beats is my dude, and I'm actually stealing his joke. He calls me ugly all the time. That's like his pet name. Hey, what's up, ugly? What are you doing, ugly? Hey, fam. First and foremost, I've been working on my Deals Makes Beats accent. I'm getting pretty good at impersonating. Hey fam, first start saying something.
Yo, so
hey fam, first and foremost, I'm gonna let you finish, fam. But let me say this shit, fam. Hey fam, you know, being young and black in America, fam, is like what? Yeah, he'll start saying some shit like that. Like, I love Deals Makes Beats, dude. That's my dude. That's like that's a rare fucking human being right there. No, Deals is just nasty. He makes really good beats, bro.
Have you known him for a long time, or is this like a newer connection?
No, I've known him since Tony T. Shout out my boy Tony T.
Salute.
Come on, dude. Come on, Tony. Fucking get out here, brother. I don't know what the fuck I was about to say. But no, Tony T, I found out about Deals Makes Beats through Tony T because they did a record together. And yeah, ever since I've been getting production from him. Like, Deals Makes Beats was on like my very first project, the 719 EP. He produced one of the joints off that. So like, I've been working with Deals Makes Beats for a long time. This is just the first time that we ever like made an entire record around only his beats.
Were you in the room for any of the production, or were you pretty much getting like the finished beats and kind of
some
what
of
was
it,
that process
bro? See, like I would go over to Deals' house and go through beats and be like, yup, I want this one. And I would try to sit there and write rhymes to it, But he'd be like, "No, fam, I'm fucking switching to this next beat, fam. Man, fuck whatever you were doing, fam."
Didn't have the patience.
So, no,
for you to be there and try to get the idea.
Deals just don't. He don't play on nobody else's time. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I had to get, and I write by myself way better, anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could pin a good verse in a room with some people real quick, I guess. But the real shit that's closest to my heart is gonna be some shit that I wrote when I was by myself in a vulnerable state. You know.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember which song kicked off the record? What first one recorded? Which one kind of helped spark the idea for the album?
Well, the song that kicks off the record is "Painting," which is the first thing I recorded and wrote from that record. But no, it wasn't so much a thing of like we made one joint and I was like, "Oh, I need to make a record around this." It was just more a thing of I was working closer with Hadley at the time, Deals Makes Beats, than I was with anybody else, and we had so much shit accumulating that, like, I don't know, for me a project happens very like organically like that. You know what I mean? It's
You don't try to plan it out too much.
No, I never plan shit, dude, which is why my life is all fucked up. This is where you say something.
You gotta start writing shit down, making lists, man. That's what I do. No, but
dude, no, for real. That's actually, like, I've always thought shit like that was stupid. Like
stupid until it works.
Yes, exactly. I know if I just wrote shit down and had a little fucking itinerary of what I needed to do, it would just give me a daily
calendar in your phone working
of, like,
hard, bro.
So, well, I need just a real, man, I'm so goddamn lazy. I need just I've been saying how much I need to just get an actual calendar for so long and just mark shit off. Dude, the show you saw me at
Go ahead,
Sunday,
tell the story.
I completely forgot that I fucking even had that show that day until I looked on social media and saw the flyer from the show. I was about to go to Texas Roadhouse with my brother and get steaks.
About to grub out.
Yeah. Saw that show and I was like, "Oh fuck.
I'm on this poster.
I
Damn.
need it." That's tonight. Yeah, man. I need a girlfriend is basically what's going on here, dude.
A calendar's a lot more quiet. I'll just say that.
Stop your bullshit.
But let's talk a little bit more about God's Eye. So we got 7 songs, a little bit more than 16 minutes. 7 songs, but a few multi-part songs, a few beat switches, even a 3-parter, a rare 3-part song, which I definitely enjoy. Kind of the flow and how that kind of goes.
I think you're talking about the 4-part, so that's a 4-part.
4-parter? Okay, 4-parter. You know, the screen's not long enough to keep track.
Exactly.
But okay, 4-parter, man. But talk about that track. That one is Alone, Babylon, Weekend with Dad, and I can't see the last one.
And dude, I forget what I even named the last one.
Something with a U.
No, I know
this
what
is
you're talking about.
with digital forms of this stuff only. Untethered.
But yes. So do you want me to talk about that particular track? So with with that whole record, I couldn't tell you anything about, well, the Weekend with Dad thing. That's one of the coolest bars I've ever said, and it's funny when I wrote the bar. It was like, and I can't even be mad if God is a woman. This is just a weekend with Dad. And like when I fucking wrote that down, I was like, yo, is anybody gonna get this? Like, because it made so much sense in my head of like the way how crazy the fucking world's been lately. and it just seems like there's no order to shit. You know what I mean? And your mom in the household was always the one that provided order, you know? And your dad is just a rambling man.
Letting some more stuff happen.
But yes. And, you know, in my mind, God would be a woman. And just the bar, if God is a woman, this is just our weekend with dad. Like, when I wrote that down, I was like, oh, nobody's going to get this. But I played it for enough people that when that bar came up, they went, oh, shit, what? And I was like, oh, fuck, that's universal. That's universal language right there. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, that was a good feeling. But, no, that whole record is just kind of crazy because I was in a, I guess for the last two records, which isn't, you know, it's not a good sign. But the last two records, I was in just a bit of a mental funk in a dark space. And it definitely comes out in those.
Definitely personal records and, you know, honest and, you know, like trying to flesh out and work through ideas, right? Trying to figure stuff out, asking questions. I like it, man. Thought-provoking stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of what I aim to do.
God's Eye. Can you talk about like sort of the title and maybe the concept a little bit more about of this?
Yeah, I can actually. It came from a dream, which sounds fucking whoa. It's fucking out there.
I love
man.
when stories start that way.
So but
let's
I
go.
swear to God, dude. I was like 19 years old, and I had this dream. I was in a beautiful city. I awoke in this beautiful city made of like marble and gold and shit. And I look above me, and there's a fucking ceiling over the entire city. Like the city itself is within an even larger building. And I'm walking down. There's all these hallways, and they're marked with like street signs, like so you know where you're going. And I'm walking past all these doorways, whatever, and I come to the top of this staircase, and this is where it starts getting a little fucked up, like how you know it's a dream. Elton John pops out of nowhere, okay? And he goes, oh, your name is Taylor McCullough. You're from Lamar, Colorado. I've heard about you, fucking this, that, and the third. He's like, meet my daughter. Okay? I swear to God, this is where God's Eye comes from.
Yo, I'm loving this.
So he's Elton John. Elton John is like, meet my daughter.
Elton John is God? Hold up.
No. So which I looked it up after the fact. Elton John doesn't have a daughter, obviously. He's a gay man. You can't reproduce. He could have adopted, but no. Elton John does not have a daughter. Okay. Anyways, I don't remember what this woman looked like. All I remember is that she was just like the kind of envisionment of temptation and beauty and all those things, kind of like the devil would be. And she took me by the hand and she led me into one of these rooms. Like, mind you, I haven't been in one of these rooms. And she takes me into one of these rooms, and we go from this beautiful city with beautiful architecture made of very expensive things into one of these rooms, and it looks like a fucking dark, dingy, gross, fucked up shed. And she starts making out with me and shit, and she's telling me shit in my ear. Like, oh, you could have a record deal. You could have everything. Like, and the dream's so real. Like, I'm like cupping her ass cheeks, and I can feel her butt cheeks like in my hands. And she's telling me, you could have a record deal. You could have it all, blah, blah, blah. But you have to play by the rules, is what she said. And I fucking woke up from the dream. It was like one of those dreams. Have you ever had a dream where you hear your alarm clock going off in your dream and you wake up and your alarm clock's actually going off? It was one of those. Side note, this is where God's Eye comes from. I had another dream. Woke up in the middle of nowhere. Dark, desolate. It's fucking nighttime. I'm walking down a fucking dirt road. I pull a map out of my pocket, okay? And I fucking open it, and I see all these towns I grew up around, like Lamar, La Junta, Los Animas, and I see this big fucking sprawling city on the map. It's called God's Eye. And you could tell why it was called God's Eye because every road in the city came to this focal point, and it kind of looked like an eye in the middle of the map. And I knew that looking at this fucking city on the map, God's Eye, I knew that that's where I had been in the fucking dream. In the city.
The first dream.
Yes, in the first dream. With
the city with the ceiling.
The city with the fucking ceiling over it. I knew that that's where I had been.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's some fucking heavy shit,
that's
right?
Crazy. That's wild.
And yeah, it's the only time I've ever had a two-parter dream. I've never had a two-parter dream before, but that happened when I was young, and just that fucking I always thought, like, wow, God's Eye, how cool. How cool is that? Like, that name has always just been rattling around in my head for...
So that's interesting. That's...
For a minute.
Yeah, for a long time, huh? You said you were like 19 or something like that, right?
It was almost like I had escaped from there, and there was, like, forces after me and shit.
Damn, that's crazy. So now I'm gonna listen to the project and get a whole different, like, you know,
dude, that
project's
crazy, bro. It's 15 minutes long, and it lit. I was telling Hadley the other day. Speaking of which, it was his birthday yesterday, and I didn't answer his goddamn call because I was too tired. I'm gonna call you back as soon as I get out of this podcast.
Yeah, you better.
I swear to God. But. Yeah, no, that
you were saying
that
it's like 16 minutes, but is it like
it's
dense,
like
right?
16 minutes, and it's so dense it like takes you through such a ride. It feels like your fucking life flashing before your eyes.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, interesting.
You know,
yeah, dope, man, really dope. Go listen to that project. Available on streaming platforms. Where can they buy it also, right? Do you have a Bandcamp as well?
You could get it. Yeah, you can get it on Bandcamp. Yeah, you should probably go buy it off Bandcamp. That is where I will make the most money off of yous. But, you know, if you got Spotify, go stream it there. If you got Apple Music, go stream it there. If you got LimeWire, whatever you got, just go listen to my shit.
Wherever you can find it, get it. It's a really dope one. And the project you released before that is called Heaven or Hell, released June 4th, 2021. Is there significance to that date?
No.
Okay, just thought I'd ask because, you know, the birthday was on the last one, so...
Yeah, that was the only time one time I released a project on, like, April Fool's Day, but... Other than that, no, I don't think that had any.
Okay. This one is really dope. There's a few songs off of here that you perform in your set. Just speaking of your performing, once again, you really got energy when you perform it, and you're really like, you know, bringing us into your world, and you're really performing. You're not just up there saying some bars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So I appreciate that.
If people are gonna come out to your show, like, you may as well give them
you definitely stand out on the lineups, I would say, for the ones that I've been to.
I appreciate that. Like I said, if people are gonna come out to a show, you may as well give them a show, you know.
Mm-hmm. Dope, man. You got some really fun songs, definitely catchy ones, and like I said, I've been bumping them a lot lately, and they've been in my head. So, you know, we're gonna add them to the rotation for sure. Be on the lookout, everybody. But let's talk Heaven or Hell a little bit. This project is a little bit longer, about double the length. A little bit shorter than that. What was it like putting together this one and working on it? This is with multiple producers as opposed to the one producer project we were just speaking of.
That's how most of my records are.
Okay.
There's lots of different producers on there just because Yeah, I have so many. I was blessed enough, or maybe talented enough. I don't know. To just be able to work with really, really fucking exceptionally good producers, and yeah, no, making Heaven or Hell. That was definitely the first just really fucking heavy stint of like that album sounds like it does kind of because of just a rut I was going through in my life, you know what I mean? But that rut did create like a whole piece, a whole kind of painting or whatever. You know what I mean? It was just a combination of like the girl who I had written the fucking record about before that had just left me, and then a month after that COVID happened and all my shows went away, which was sort of how I found a meaning in life, you know what I mean? And I was my living situation. I was just not happy in every sense of the word, you know what I mean? And yeah, that record was just kind of result of just many nights of just like toiling by myself and whatever. But it came out very good.
Yeah, it's a dope body of work. A lot of different vibes throughout. Talk about sort of like sequencing this project. It seems like you were probably alone, doing a lot of the writing. Do you record by yourself? Where did the recording for this sort of go down?
No, I record mostly everything at Tony T's studio.
Okay. Salute to Tony T. I'd love to have him up here soon. I've been a little quiet with the music as of late, but we'd love to chop it up with him.
Yeah, Tone's dealing with he's dealing with real life things, and sometimes music has to take a back seat.
Of course.
Whatever, man. But he is so good that it's just like it's a detriment to the entire world if he's not making music, So God damn it, Tone, just keep doing that.
Yeah.
But
back to like Heaven or Hell a little bit. Talk about like sequencing this project. That's sort of what I was getting at. Sort of building it.
I don't know, man. When it comes to shit like that, there's not really much I can say. I just sat there and wrote the songs. And it came together the way it kind of came together. And yeah, I don't really have much more I can expound on that.
Okay, is it mostly just you figuring out the order? Do you have some people that you like to sit down, roll up a little something with, hang out with, relax, get some input from? What's your process when it comes to something like that?
No, it's always just me, just listening to my own songs, just relentlessly, and eventually I have a whole record, and yeah, no, it's not much I can talk about, like the sequencing of it or the putting together of it, but like, yeah, it's more just the mind state I was in, and the records kind of come out the way they do, and that's what's cool about art and that's what's cool about, like, if you're a genuine artist, is like you can sit down with those records, and it paints you a picture of like, oh, where this person was at mentally in this particular period of time.
Dope. I appreciate that. I really enjoy the video for the title track Heaven or Hell, directed by Clever Schemes. Shout out to Schemes. What was do I dare ask the idea behind how this video came together? What was the idea behind this?
So, Schemes is a G for that one. Like, not to take all the credit in the world, but the video was entirely like I pieced that together in my mind, like
you had the vision for
the T. Yes. Yeah, whatever. I was all twacked out one night. And I sat there and I knew the vision of how I wanted it to be, just like a sequence of visuals relating to the lyrics. And I sat there one night and just relentlessly looked through YouTube and whatever of like, yes, I want this to play at this particular bar and whatever. And I came to Schemes with all these different videos. He's like, fuck, dude, that's so much shit. He's like, look, I could let you sit here and like, I sat there and I like just uploaded all of them from like the whatever, like fucking YouTube to whatever converter. And he's the one, he actually sat there and edited it together.
A real collaborative effort.
And Schemes is a G because like he bought the projector for that video like out of his own shit. He was like, yo, I was actually gonna get this projector anyways to do some other shit, and we filmed it at his parents' crib, and it just like the way it looked in my fucking mind is the exact way that it came out on the screen.
That's great. That's
you know
amazing.
what I mean? It was amazing. It was crazy, dude. Like to just see something in your fucking head, like some like crazy fever dream, and then you make it. You know what I mean? With no resources even. Like that was some special, like the stars aligning type of shit, you know?
Yo, I've been plucking every petal off my lucky clover, losing my mind for the drugs and exposure, hurting my pride till it's dead, then I'm over it. Loner, lost in a cloud of marijuana. Never had a clue what I was doing, but I did it on my own, with nothing but the vision and a poem. You never had the cojones to step up and tangle with your destiny. I'm swinging even if it gets the best of me. I'm singing to the pews of my own church. You ain't gotta wonder, wrote it down in my own words. Smell the static in the air, thunder in the distance. My mind going a million miles a minute. Temporarily infinite space and time rippled in the same way the waves shine off the sun glistening. Universe speaking, you can tell it if you listening. Internet and television only bringing dissonance. I travel great distances from where I begun. Sometimes it feels like it's all for naught. Life's a competition, who got the biggest gun? If you try to speak up, then them guns go pop.
Really dope video. Really dope song too. Jazzy, very like distorted drums. It's like a very interesting track, and with the visuals,
that was my boy.
It's cool how it came together.
That was my boy Since 93 from Chicago who made the beat on that, man. Shout out Since 93.
Yeah, really dope, really dope. Anything else you want to talk about as far as like Heaven or Hell or God's Eye? Everybody go listen to that, support it. But anything else you want to leave the people with about these projects?
No, not so much. Yeah, absolutely go listen to both of those records. They're really fucking good. But other than that, I'm going to be out at South by Southwest in March with Rose, who actually has done this show as well.
Salute to Rose, Mr. Don't Play.
Yeah, Rose is my fucking dude. he's a real good rapper and just a real good person, you know. So yeah, man, I don't really got much to plug at the moment.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll leave that there. Before the conversation goes any further, I do just want to say rest in peace to Dave Plug 2, Trugoy of De La Soul, huge influence of mine and of, hip hop, craziness. I got tons of De La Soul records here. Huge influence of mine. We got the sad news that he passed today. So very sad day in the hip hop community. Couldn't go through the interview without acknowledging that.
Yeah, absolutely. We probably should have acknowledged that sooner.
Could have done it at the top, but we
De
got
La
right
Soul
into it.
Changed the fucking face of hip hop, dude. Stakes are high. Stakes is high. Classic record in every way you could put it.
Absolutely. And another group from Long Island. You knew that they were from Long Island,
I
though?
had no fucking idea they were from
All
Long
right,
Island.
all right. So De La Soul from Long Island. We spoke about
I
last
thought it was
week.
just Jerry Seinfeld.
Rakim from Long Island. We talked about EPMD, you know what I'm saying? We're going to do a little Long Island video segment on the YouTube channel one day. That would be a fun one to get into. But yeah, another group from Long Island that I was just like, damn, like people from this area did that. So it was really, really amazing, really inspiring. And yeah, some of my favorite records. My favorite De La Soul record is probably one of their later ones. It's called Artificial Intelligence. Mosaic Thump.
I don't know if I'm even familiar
It's one
with
of
that
the,
one.
it's like their fifth or sixth one. It came out in like 2001, but had really just dope messaging behind it. That was when I was living and working in New York. I was working construction estimating, sitting in a job in an office for 9 hours a day, looking at blueprints and computers and Excel spreadsheets, and it sucked. But on the way to work every day, I listened to this record, and that's what got me through, man. So highly recommend go checking out that record. And their music will be on streaming platforms March 3rd. So by the time this interview comes out, all their music will actually, you'll be able to listen to it. Not sure who's aware, who's not aware.
Yeah, you can't listen to De La Soul on like Spotify and all that
They
shit.
just received their masters last year, I think, from Tommy Boy Records.
Jesus
Eventually bought them out.
dude.
But yeah, they had some weird stipulation in the contract. They had tons of samples that would almost need to be re-cleared. So Tommy Boy was like, oh, we're not going to deal with this. But eventually they ended up getting their teaming up with, a group of people, getting the records back. And now they're going to be all re-released simultaneously on March 3rd. So sad that Dave wasn't here for the day to see it happen, that it dropped. But he was here for the whole process of it and knew what was going to happen. So
Yeah.
Amazing.
And also, if you're a fan of hip hop, listen to the entire record of The Stakes is High. And the title track, so that fucking beat is so incredible. And also, the album cover of Stakes is High is just one of the most iconic things I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, the text.
The
It's
little
amazing.
school
And
children
I believe
looking all
it's-
creepy and gothic,
I
all in
believe
black and white.
Stakes is High is produced by Jay Dilla. So, it's
Yeah,
Dilla month.
damn.
Shout out to Jay Dilla.
Yeah, man.
This actually record is
putting
De
me
La
on
Soul,
right
Jay Dilla right here, a little, mashup thing. European import right here,
That's
one of
great.
the
That's
special
good shit.
ones. But yeah, salute to De La Soul. I love them. And you guys need to listen to more De La Soul. And now you can. So you talked about South by Southwest. I'm sure a lot more shows you plan on doing in 2023. Any other dates right now that you want to let us know about?
Like I said, at the moment, South by Southwest is really the only thing I have on my plate.
Okay.
So yeah, there'll be a lot of more shit in store soon, but yeah, at the moment that's the big thing.
God's Eye released not too long ago, but should we be expecting some new music, maybe a new project this year?
Should be, yes, absolutely. But like I said, I don't have a release date or nothing like that yet. I still have a lot of still have a lot of putting this new record together to go.
Okay.
All
right. So we're gonna keep God's Eye in heavy rotation, and the rest of it. He's got a lot of 6 albums or so on Spotify. So there's a lot of work to digest and enjoy.
Yeah, man. I got some shit out there, dude.
Is there a favorite project that you have of yours? Obviously, probably the most recent one, but maybe like a specific song or project that you know you just means a lot to you.
I think every single one of my solo projects are kind of like that to me. And yeah, no, you should also listen to the record Luna.
Yep.
That's a good one, but no, it's almost like choosing your favorite child or something, you know. It's just you probably shouldn't do it.
Yeah, they all your records seem to be timepieces too. Right, you try to really put your thoughts
it's
down
like
and capture that moment.
And that's what a record is, you know. If you're genuine and such.
So a big part of conversations with TMAC is music. Another big part is food. You know, I've only been out here about 13 months or so I haven't been to too many food spots yet. So somebody who's a native Coloradan put me on to some good food spots around Denver, Colorado. Just give me all the good spots.
Brother, I got you. You need to go to Bourbon Grill. Bourbon Grill is now it's off of Colfax, kind of by the Capitol, sort of, right by the fucking McDonald's over there. But dude, Bourbon Grill is like it's Asians that run the spot, and they make this kind of like the bourbon chicken is what you go for, man.
Okay.
It's smoked chicken covered in this fucking delicious bourbon sauce over a bed of rice, and then typically I'll get a side of mac and cheese. It's the most delicious, cheesiest mac and cheese you ever had, and like some mixed veggies or something to convince yourself that you're having a healthy meal.
How late are they open? That sounds real good.
How late are the... Not super late. They probably shut down like maybe like 9 o'clock.
I know, we missed it. We're going to have to go there soon, though.
No, man, if you came here in a different era, we had all the illest 24/7 spots, but COVID deaded all that shit real quick. Yeah, man, so Bourbon Grill, incredible. I used to, before Bourbon Grill was at the spot they're at now, you could actually go in and sit down and eat. Before, it was just a window on East Colfax, on Colfax and Park Avenue. And I would sit there for like 45 minutes, no shit, and get harassed by every single homeless person on Colfax. Just because the fucking food was that good. You were
worth it.
You were waiting in the cold on the corner on Colfax for 45 minutes to get your plate of fucking bourbon chicken with mac and cheese, dude. But now it's, you don't gotta wait in line, and you could sit down, and it's the same food. And they have a badass mural in the back of their original spot, and a bunch of people waiting in line just looking hood and Colfax as fuck. You know, it's
That's
really
funny.
It's really some OG
cool.
Denver shit.
That's cool.
Chubby's, if your gut could take it, dude, Chubby's is so green chili. You know, I'm from Colorado.
I was gonna ask the green chili question.
We love our fucking green chili, and to me, Chubby's is it's so fucking good. Just like the green chili and the type of cheese they use over that shit, it's the most processed bullshit cheese in the world, but dog, Chubby's will make you have an emergency, just hottest bowel movement you've ever had in your entire life.
Make sure you don't got nothing to do after.
Dude, Chubby's really is. It's not cool to do to your body, but I think I have something to prove.
I'll go back to this saying,
something out here.
Worth it. Sounds like it's worth it. All right. So is that like a Mexican spot or?
Yeah, Chubby's.
Okay.
It's some real OG shit. It's been on the north side for a long time. The same family still runs it. It's off 38th in La Pan, over there by La Raza Park.
Okay.
Columbine Steakhouse. You should check that shit out. Real good steak, real cheap. It's been there forever. Denver spots, OG Denver spots.
I always like to get a pizza spot. You know, I'm a big pizza guy. I work in a pizza restaurant, making pizza for a while. Pizza's very similar to DJing to me, but
what's near
pizza
and dear
spot
to my heart is Benny Blanco's Pizza, right next to your mom's house, which I would play all the time. It used to be like the Snake Pit. It's gone through a bunch of different shit, but yeah, dude, Benny Blanco's just a good, like, New York style slice of pizza. Open real late, you know what I'm saying? I remember one time on the cover of the pizza box, they got like a fucking loped out like Cholo Jesus, you know what I mean? Yeah, fucking bandana and shit. Fucking Jesus is throwing up gang signs, you know what I'm saying? Benny Blanco's Pizza.
Benny Blanco.
In old English letters, man. I remember this one night, I was broke as fuck. Like, I mean, doing a little better now, but fucking broke as dog shit. And it was Easter. I had just done a show at your mom's house, and I was getting fucked up at my buddy's apartment. And I was walking back to my car at 3 a.m, and I hear just a slap on the pavement. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I keep walking, and outside of Benny Blanco's, there was just a whole fresh Benny Blanco's Pizza with Jesus right there on the box, and it was Easter, you know. This the way I was like, yeah, it was like a Easter Jesus pizza just bestowed upon me. I'm sure it was meant for homeless people, and I was like, dude, I'm pretty close. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
yeah, that pizza fed me for about 3 days or something.
Gotta love that. Gotta love that.
Yeah, my Easter Jesus pizza from Benny Blanco's, man. Man, fuck with Benny Blanco's, dude. Also, Carl's Italian restaurant. I like their pizza, too. There's some OG Northside shit, too.
Okay. I'll have to check that out for sure. I think that pretty much does it, TMC. Appreciate you coming in here, you know, giving us your insight, perspective on some of your work and your art. Anything else you want to leave the people with? You know, go stream all the music. Going to be going to South by Southwest soon. Anything else? Man,
I kind of feel like you said it all right there, dude. Just, yeah, man. I'm out here freezing up, dude. I'm fucking.
Hey, bro, you're fine, man. Support independent art. That's what it's all about.
Hell yeah. Go follow me on IG at TMC the MC. You know, go cop the records, cop some merch off me. Hell yeah, and shout out TMAC and the whole podcast, man.
Hey,
we're out
got
here
you, man.
In Colorado doing big things, dude.
Oh yeah, talking to real artists, doing real things.
Absolutely, man.
Hey, appreciate you.
Fuck yeah, likewise.
You could catch me smoking something heavy in my Chevy on the highway. Flying by these haters jealous cause I did it my way. Never let them put me in a box till I'm gone. Tell my brothers stay strong. We all gon' be on in a minute. I know that I'm taking my sweet time. Made a few mistakes, don't stress it, it's all fine. Long as you have faith and see it through God's eye.